My name is Ivan Ibino from BSCD major in Science, and today we will be talking about Manzano and Kendall's new taxonomy. So first, our objectives is, we only have one objectives. Our main objectives is to be able to understand the concept of Manzano and Kendall's new taxonomy.
We have 6 levels of difficulties given in the context of the system of thoughts, the cognitive system, the metacognitive system, and the self system. These 3 new system is the heart of the new taxonomy. So under cognitive system is retrieval, comprehension, analysis, and knowledge utilization. So the first level in cognitive system is called retrieval. Retrieval is the activation and transfer of knowledge from a permanent memory to working memory where it might be consciously processed. Retrieval of information is either a matter of recognition or recall. So the first one is recognition. Recognition is the ability to students recognize features of information but do not necessarily understand the structure of the knowledge or differentiate critical from non-critical components. The next one is recalling. Recalling is the ability that the students will be able to produce features of information but not necessarily understand the structure of the knowledge or differentiate critical and non-critical components. While in executing, the student will be able to perform a procedure without significant error but not necessarily understand how and why the procedure works. So the second level under cognitive system is comprehension. It involves 2 related processes, which is integrating and symbolizing. Integrating is when student will be able to identify the basic structure of the information, the mental procedure or the psychomotor procedure, and also the critical as opposed to non-critical characteristics. And in symbolizing, the student will be able to construct an accurate symbolic representation of the information, mental procedure or psychomotor procedure, differentiating critical and non-critical elements. Third level of cognitive system is called analysis. It involves the reasoned extension of knowledge and generation of new information not already possessed by the individual. There are 5 analysis process, and the first one is matching. Here in matching, students can identify important similarities and differences between knowledge and components. The second is classifying. Student identifies superordinate and subordinate categories related to the knowledge. Third one is analyzing or analyzing error. And here, students identify errors in the presentation or use of the knowledge. The fourth one is generalizing. The students construct new generalization or principles based on the knowledge. The fifth one is specifying. In here, students can identify specific applications or logical consequences of the knowledge. And the last one under cognitive system is the knowledge utilization. It is using accumulated knowledge to tackle problems, develop new products, and deal with unfamiliar situations. There are 4 general categories of knowledge utilization. Number 1 is the decision making. It is when the student uses his or her knowledge of details to make a specific decision regarding the details. The number 2 is the problem solving. It is when the student uses his or her knowledge of details to solve a specific problem regarding the details. Third is the experimenting. It is when the student uses his or her knowledge of details to generate and test hypotheses or generate and test hypotheses regarding details. The fourth one is the investigating. It is when the student uses his or her knowledge of specific details to investigate a past, present, nor future events or conduct an investigation regarding the details. And the fifth level under metacognitive system is the metacognition. It is responsible for monitoring, evaluating, and regulating the functioning of all other types of thoughts. For example, students would establish a specific goal in terms of increasing their understanding or use of specific information presented in a mathematics class. There are 4 categories of metacognitive processes. The first one is specifying goals. Students establish a goal relative to the knowledge and a plan for accomplishing the goal. Second one is called process monitoring. It is when students monitor the execution of specific goals as they relate to the knowledge. Third one is the monitoring clarity, and it is when students determine the extent to which they have clarity about the knowledge. And then the monitoring accuracy. Students determine the extent to which they are accurate about the knowledge. And the 6th level and the highest level is the self-system thinking. It consists of an interrelated arrangement of attitudes, beliefs, and emotions, which determines whether an individual will engage in or disengage in a given task.
It also determines how much energy the individual will bring to the task. There are 4 types of self-system thinking. First one is the examining importance. It is when students identify how important the knowledge is to them and the reasoning underlying this perception. The second type is the examining efficacy. It is when students identify beliefs about their ability to improve competence or understanding relative to knowledge and the reasoning underlying this perception. Third type is the examining emotional. It is when students identify emotional responses to knowledge and the reasons for these responses. Lastly is the examining motivation. It is when students identify their overall level of motivation to improve competence or understanding relative to knowledge and the reasons for this level of motivation.